Hello guys, and let's try and get you a message. I'm feeling a little bit under the weather today, so I'll do my best. I'm still showing up, so hello. So with the first card coming out, being the Temperance, so usually the first card that come out in my shuffling, I see it as a card that defines the collective. So with Temperance, this is going to be for those of you guys who are currently going through a process of restoring some sort of balance, or maybe bringing about more balance into your life. You want things to flow more evenly as well. There's something about a path that you've walked up to this point. It feels like it took a lot of learning and a lot of bad turns to get you to the place that you are today, to make you the person that you are today. But I feel that this is going to be for those of you guys who are finally arriving at some sort of conclusion of why did you go through all the pain that you did. Like, I feel like a lot of you are finally like taking that essence out of all these lessons, and you're finally learning to to turn it all into your biggest strength. Sorry, I've got like a really bad sore throat. But let's go. So okay, so with that in mind, what else? Lovers. So I feel like with this balance that you're sort of restoring, I feel with that as well, there's some sort of connection appearing in your life, or it's just about to appear. There is something like once you, I feel it has a lot to do for some of you in terms of getting rid of what you don't want anymore, being a little bit more firm and more honest about the things that you want. So I feel like, with you making that, setting like a clear boundary, there's something about boundaries coming through as well for yourself. And also when you decide, and I'm looking at that rainbow on this Temperance card as well. So when you decide to look at the bright side, yeah, that's what's coming through as well. When you decide to look at the bright side instead of looking at and going through and muddling through all these difficulties that you've gone through, when you kind of choose that happiness, when you decide, okay, I'm ready to bring in love, I am ready to bring in that happiness, I feel like in that very precise moment there's somebody that's going to appear in your life, and there's this mirroring energy. And also with lovers, there's also, of course, that choice. And I feel the choice, it might have a lot to do for a big part of you guys in here. So I feel like, yeah, with the Four of Pentacles. So I was just about to say that I feel that for some of you, just because with this Temperance as well, maybe just because it took you a lot of work to restore this peace and balance in your life. So I feel that even though you do crave love and you do crave, a real relationship, you've got a very strong boundaries. And I think I mentioned something about boundaries previously. So I feel with that, even though your heart's going to be ready to open up, and you might be even feeling like a very strong connection with a certain person, I feel like for you to let yourself into this, and for you to, because I feel this has a lot to do with that peace and contentment and this quiet that you sort of rebuild in your life. And I feel like you might be in some way afraid of letting something else in, of letting love in again in your life. So there's this protectiveness against love. It's like love equals vulnerability, it equals hurt, it equals drama and things like that. So I feel like, you are in a place of like, yeah, you want it, like, you crave it, but boundaries, you've got very strong boundaries, and you are a little bit afraid of lowering your guard in this situation. But there's a Nine of Cups and there's a Four of Swords. So I feel this is yet again this push-pull of energies of like whether you feel yourself to be ready to, to try to put yourself out there again, or to try something new again, or to maybe even allow yourself to fall in love. All right, what else is coming through? Ten of Wands. So yeah, and I feel it has a lot to do with these burdens and this baggage and these lessons that you've carried up to this point. And I feel like, you arrive at the place where you're happy on your own, and you're happy with how things are with this Emperor. Like, you are the boss of your own story. Like, it feels that and also what comes through, that you are a person with a very gentle heart. You are a person who also might be a little bit naive when it comes to love. You may be trusting sometimes too easy, or you used to trust too easy. That's why these boundaries, like, that you've created are quite strong and high. You don't want to allow yourself to be used again, or to make a mistake again when with this Emperor. So I feel like, because in this energy, I feel like with the Emperor there's a certain pride that comes through of this, or the certain element of wanting to have that control over your own life. So I feel like, you are afraid of losing that control. That's why you don't want to sort of necessarily, even though you want to, but there is a certain barrier that is not fully allowing you to open yourself up to that possibility yet. But sun is coming out. So I feel this speaks about the clarity that you're going to receive. And also, yeah, there's a success as well with the Six of Wands. So I feel despite of your walls and despite of your barriers, there is something new manifesting in your life. And having that Lovers as a second card, I feel like it has a lot to do with a certain relationship that is approaching your life. And also this Eight of Pentacles. So I feel like this is going to be something that, or someone with whom you're going to be able to build like properly, because with the Pentacles energy. So this is somebody that comes in to work with you. And I feel like when it comes to the person in question, because there's this big mirroring energy, that this is somebody who also has a difficult past, and somebody who has a lot of wounds and a lot of scars themselves. Can we get a bit more about this new connection coming in from my collective? Because I want to know more. Eight of Cups, Page of Cups. So I feel this might refer, for some of you, this might refer to a younger person appearing in your life, somebody who is just simply youthful, or somebody who is approaching life with a little bit of distance maybe. And that's what I'm kind of feeling, yeah, with this Eight of Cups as well. And somebody who also had to walk away from a lot of disappointments, or somebody who is still, like with the energy of the Page. So this is somebody who is also learning trust and love again. This is somebody who also has been betrayed and let down before. There's a Chariot, but this is somebody who also, when they do find something meaningful, and I feel like when you two meet, and I feel like this other person, even though you might be having some stronger boundaries, I feel like the person in here, like, they're not gonna let go of you. They're not going to be phased by any barriers that you're putting up, and that's the work coming in. They're gonna work it out with you. And I feel like, yeah, the Ten of Pentacles is coming out as well. So this is yet again this element of this building together. And I feel like, in this potential in here, you have a huge potential to build something secure and long lasting together with each other. Yeah, there's a Hierophant on the bottom, which is a card of higher commitment. So the person we're talking about in here as well, this is somebody who I feel like they treat commitment quite seriously, and this is somebody who is loyal, and I feel like, yeah, Five of Swords, Three of Cups, Queen of Wands. So I feel with this, like, you might how you might meet this person, for some of you this might happen looking at this Five of Swords and Three of Cups. So it might happen in some sort of like friend setting, or like some sort of party, or being some outside, and there might be some sort of conflict going on that, that might, there might be something happening, like I'm kind of seeing like some kind of chaotic situation going on, and then in that moment you might be starting talking to the person about what's going on. This is what I'm kind of really feeling. And then that's when you're going to connect. And I feel like, with this Three of Cups, there's this element of like some kind of a party, or some kind of like a social gathering. Queen of Wands. So I feel this is the magnetic pull this person is going to feel towards you. And I coming back to this in the Five of Swords, I feel it might be speaking about you. Yeah, I'm looking at this guy at the back. So I feel this might be speaking about you just being, sick and tired of fights in your life, and maybe like, yeah, that's what also comes through, that, this is exactly how you might actually bond with this person. You might start talking about, all the difficult things you had to experience, all the chaos and fights that you had to go through in your life, all the pain that you endured from the hands of other people. So I feel like this is something that's going to you might start this connection by, let's say, like, yeah, this is like this feeling of being out, or being out with friends, or being at the party, and there's somebody that comes in, and I feel like this starts with them feeling attracted to the way you look, and they're gonna find you very magnetizing. Just by looking at you, they're going to feel strong attraction. So I feel when they approach you and you're going to start talking about something like there's like a trauma dump coming through. So I feel like, and you are both also two very intense people. So maybe previously, like, if you've ever came into connections, or whenever you got a little bit vulnerable, you start open up about your past, maybe the trauma started to come out first. Like, you maybe started to overshare a little bit about your pain, which in turn might have pushed other people away because that was too much for them. So I feel when it comes to this person, this is going to be something that's going to actually connect you, and it's not going to be like, you know, one of those toxic karmic relationship. But I feel there's a big element of like, even if this doesn't turn into anything long-term or romantic, although I feel with this Ten of Pentacles that has that potential, but I feel like, you know, you're going to strongly help each other on your path. Like, you know, there's a reason you two meeting. Six of Cups. So this is this strong sense of recognition. So you probably you might have this soul recognition level with them. Like, you know, you might feel that you sort of know them from past lives, and that's why initially you're going to start, like, you know, with this oversharing of information, like, you know, with this Eight of Wands and this Page of Wands. And I feel like, you know, this is going to quickly start moving or evolving into something meaningful for the both of you. And yeah, looking at this Three of Cups again, so there's this strong element of friendship and bonding going through before any sort of romantic, you know, things happen. But yeah, there's this Hierophant as well. Right, let's just get me this last few cards and we're gonna wrap it up. High Priestess, Nine of Swords, the Tower, and this Hierophant in here. So I feel like with this, this is going to be that connection, and the reason why you're going to overshare so easily with each other, and you're going to be able 11-11, where you're going to be able to share that pain and share all that trauma without being judged or without worrying that, you know, by oversharing you're going to destroy everything. Because I feel like, you know, you might hold a little bit of fear of that, and you might try in some way sorry, in some way to pretend nothing bad happened to you, or, you know, you're trying to sort of always keep that brave face or keep that smile on your face, but, you know, underneath there's all of this baggage, there's all of this stuff that you maybe haven't even shared properly with anybody. Maybe, you know, you should have had therapy but you never did. So this is like this feeling of being able to finally share without stress, without worrying, without judgment as well. But this Tower, I feel, it might indicate that, you know, things will escalate quite quickly between the two of you. There's a Devil on the bottom, so I feel this might speak about you two not being able, even though if you do try to keep it on some sort of friendly level, I feel like, you know, with this Devil coming through, there might be a stronger sexual attraction that might make it a little bit impossible for the two of you to stay away from each other. And I just got a beautiful sparrow landing looking at me. That might be significant. Yeah, and there's the Six of Wands, which is success, and there's the Waterwood on the bottom. We're going to finish it here. So this is connection that's going to come in and help you. I feel like in a big way, the success and this feeling successful is going to come through the fact of finally being seen, because also the Six of Wands is a card of spotlight. So you might finally feel yourself to be seen, but not in a bad way. Like, you're not going to feel exposed. You're going to be feeling finally understood by another person. So I feel like, you know, this is this baggage that you both have, and you might have very similar experiences in life. You might both come from a very dark place, but I feel like there's a certain element of lightness about that person. Yeah, looking at that Page of Wands, so they and this Page of Cups, so this is definitely some kind of younger energy, or like I said, somebody who just acts quite youthful, or go like you know, easygoing approach to life. But I feel like, you know, looking at this Page of Cups again, I feel like, you know, they're going to develop a serious crush when it comes to you very quickly, and you're going to mean a lot to them. And I feel like, you know, you're going to be teachers for each other. You're looking at this Hierophant as well. You're going to teach each other something very important during this connection. And whether this is going to be in the terms of long term, but it's definitely coming to give you that clarity. Yeah, to give you that clarity. Page of Pentacles, King of Wands. So I feel like, and there's death as well on the bottom, which means major transformation happening in your life when this comes in. And also the person in here is somebody who's got a lot of fire, like, you know, somebody who is very passionate about life. But I feel like, you know, there's also some kind of restrictions that are coming through with this person. Like, you know, they are also in a process of closing out something in their life. They're in a process of sorting their life out as well. So I feel like, and also, you know, like attracts like, so I feel like this might be the reason you two are going to, you know, recognize each other in whatever setting you're going to come together, because you're going to be, from the first exchange of words, there's something about this conversation that you're going to be like, yeah, I know, me too, yeah, and you're just gonna not be able to stop talking. And I feel like, you know, this is going to be a very, very strong and important friendship in your life that might have potential to evolve into something serious later on in your life. Right, okay, I'm gonna leave you with that. Love you. Bye.